Good morning, student. Once again, welcome back to 7th standard. So, student, today we are going to continue with the topic nutrition in living organisms. This is the second module of this chapter. So, let's begin. Students, before starting with this module, I want you to recall some topics of my previous video. So, student, substances which are digested and assimilated for obtaining energy and for the growth and health of our body are called foodstuffs. Nutrients can be classified into two types, that is micronutrients and macronutrients. The process of taking in and using food which takes place in living organisms are called nutrition. Autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition are two types of nutrition. Plants in presence of sunlight with the help of chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and water prepares their food for the plants. This process of making food by plants is called photosynthesis. The transport system of plants consists of the xylem and phloem as the conducting tissue. The xylem transports minerals and water from root to all aerial, that is upper parts of the plants. The phloem transports food from the leaves to other parts of the plant. Rhizobium microorganisms and Azotobacter microorganism help in nitrogen fixation. Two different types of plant live together to fulfill their needs of nutrients, protection, support, etc. with each other's help. This type of nutrition is called symbiotic nutrition. An example of symbiotic nutrition is lichen. So, student, in this module, you're going to learn about heterotrophic plants, insectivorous plants, ceprophytic plants, role of nutrients and effect of their deficiency on plants, holozoic nutrition, saprozoic nutrition and parasitic nutrition. Let us see heterotrophic plants. Student, heterotrophic plants do not contain chlorophyll, thus they cannot produce their own food. Students, the plants that grow on the body of other plants to obtain food are called as parasitic plants. For example, Loranthus, cuscuta, etc. Cuscuta plant do not contain chlorophyll. It is completely dependent on the host plant for its nutrition. Student, host plant, a plant upon which an organism such as an insect or mildew lodges and subsists. So, heterotrophic plants do not prepare their own food. They depend on other plant, host plant for their food to get the nutritions. Students, now use your brain power. Which part of the Loranthus plant carries out photosynthesis? So, answer is in Loranthus plant, photosynthesis is carried out by green leaves. Second, from where do they obtain minerals and water? So, here is the answer. In Loranthus, root system is absent. Thus, it attacks the aerial part of the host tree by developing hostoria. Student, hostoria is a root-like structure. These hostoria absorb water and minerals directly from vascular system of host plants. And the last question, why is Loranthus known as a partially parasitic plants? So here is the answer. Loranthus is known as partially parasitic plants because it is dependent on host plant just for water and minerals. However, it can make its own food by the process of photosynthesis. Student, next topic is insectivorous plant. So student, insectivorous plants are those plants which feed upon insects to obtain their nutrients. Student, we have seen that some plants feed upon insect to obtain nutrients. This insectivorous plant generally grow in soil or water deficient in nitrogen compounds. The plant body of Drosera burmani has a flower-like appearance. It grows close to the ground. Its leaves are attractively pink or red in color, with hairs at the margin. Droplets of a sticky substance found at the tips of the hairs attract insects. The scientist Johannes Berman identified that this plant in Sri Lanka in the year 1737. Hence, the plant is named after him. Example of such insectivorous plant are Drosera burmani, picture plant, etc. So student, here deficient meaning not having enough of specific quality or ingredients. Now student, use your brain power on the based on previous topic and answer the following questions. Student, first question, why does the picture plant feed on insects even though it produces food by photosynthesis? So here is the answer. Picture plants contain chlorophyll. They can prepare their own food by photosynthesis. However, picture plant grows in the soil deficient, means kami, in nitrogen compound. Thus, to fulfill its nitrogen requirement, it traps the insect and utilizes their proteins. Hence, the picture plant feed on insects even though it produces food by photosynthesis. Next topic is ceprophytic plants. Students, ceprophytic plants are those plants which obtain their food from dead and decaying. Decaying means sadna, rotting due to some bacteria and fungi. Bodies of other organisms are called ceprophytic plants. For an example, fungi like mushroom and yeast. Fungi break down the carbon compounds present in dead bodies by secreting digestive enzymes. Some fungi cause disease or illness. However, some fungi have medical properties as well. Yeast and mushrooms are useful. Yeast is used in fermentation process for making bread, while mushrooms are used as food and are very much rich in iron and vitamins. Students, now let us see role of nutrients and effect of their deficiency on plants. So, first nutrient is nitrogen. Its function is to important component of protein, chlorophyll and cytoplasm. Because of its deficiency, the plant may suffer from retarded, stunted growth, and the leaves can turn into yellow, and after some time it can be dried and fallen off. Next nutrient is phosphorus. The function of this nutrient is conversion of light energy into chemical energy. Because of its deficiency, there will be early leaf fall, late flowering, slow growth of roots. Next nutrient is potassium. It is very necessary for metabolic activities in plants. Because of its deficiency, the plant may suffer from weak stem, wilting of leaves, failure to produce carbohydrates. Next nutrient is magnesium. This is very important for the production of chlorophyll. Because of its deficiency, the plant may suffer from slow retarded growth, yellowing of leaves. Next is iron. Very important in the production of chlorophyll. Because of its deficiency, the plant may suffer from the yellowing of leaves. Next nutrient is manganese. This nutrient is very important for the production of main plant hormones, and because of its deficiency, there may be retarded growth and spotted leaves. And the last one nutrient is zinc. This is very important for the production of hormones and their intermediates. Because of its deficiency, the plant may suffer from retarded growth and yellowing of leaves. Student, our next topic is nutrition in animals. Before starting with the topic, let's recall some of the questions. Which are the various nutrients of food? For what purpose are the nutrients used? So here is the answer. There are 6 main nutrients in our food, that is carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fibers, vitamins and minerals. Nutrients are used for a variety of purposes, such as to supply the energy required for doing work, growth and development of the body, to replace the damaged cells and repair tissues, and to fight against diseases. Student, before this we had studied about nutrient in plants. Now we will be learning about nutrition in animals. So let us begin with the topic nutrition in animals. Student, nutrients necessary for various activities of the body are obtained from food. As you all know, they are supplied to various parts of body through blood. The food that we consume does not mix with blood as it is. Okay, as it is we eat the food, will not directly will get mixed with the blood. It needs some process to get mixed with the blood. So first it needs to convert into soluble forms that can easily mixed with blood. So for that, nutrition in animals involve various steps from ingestion to egestion. Okay, ingestion to egestion. Few are the steps of obtaining nutrition. First is ingestion. So during this, food is taken into the body. Then digestion. During digestion, there will be conversion of food into simple soluble form. This digestion starts within the mouth, that is with the teeth. Teeth start chewing the food. So from there the digestion process started. Next is absorption. During this, the transfer of soluble food to the blood. Now the food becomes soluble after digestion, so it will be get transferred to the blood. Next is assimilation. During that, utilization of absorbed food by cells and tissues for energy producing for growth and repair. And the last one is egestion. After removal, after digestion, absorption and assimilation, there will be unwanted and waste product. That unwanted and undigested waste product are given out from the body. So this process is called egestion. Student, on page number 31, there's one table. Observe the animals around you and complete the following table. So, name of the animal, type and name of the food, and the method of ingestion. Ingestion means taking in food, how these animals take in food. So, first is cow. So, what does it eat? What is the food of cow? Is grass or hay. And method how they eat or take in grass is by chewing, as you can see. Next is frog. Their food is insect like flies, moths and dragonflies, and they take in this food by the method called swallowing. As you can see in the image, how they are taking in food, how they are doing the process of ingestion by swallowing. Next topic in nutrition in animal is holozoic nutrition. Student, amoeba does not have organs like hands and mouth. It is a unicellular animal. It can take in food through any part of the surface of its unicellular body. It surrounds the food particle from all sides to take in it into the cell. After that, it digests the food with the help of different enzymes which is present inside them body. Undigested food is left behind as the amoeba moves further with the help of pseudopodia. As you can see, pseudopodia, this is the mean of movement. Okay, with the help of pseudopodia, the amoeba moves. In unicellular animals like amoeba, euglena, paramecium, etc., all the steps of nutrition occur within their unicellular body, that is single cell. Insects have mouth parts for ingestion of food. For example, insects like the cockroach and grasshopper, which nibble, have jaw-like mouth parts. Butterflies suck food with the tube-like proboscis. Mosquitoes and bedbugs use a needle-like mouth part to pierce and a tube-like mouth part to suck blood or other fluids. So student, holozoic nutrition, according to the type of food, animals can be classified as herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, scavengers and decomposers. So let us learn these topics in a detail. So first is herbivores. Student, an herbivore is an animal or insect that only eats vegetables, that is plants, such as grasses, fruits, leaves, vegetables, roots and bulbs. Herbivores only eat things that need photosynthesis to live. This excludes insects, spider, fish and other animals. That means herbivores do not eat other animal like insects, spider, fish and etc. For an example, as you can see, cow, zebra, elephant, giraffe, etc., they feed on plant for their food. So that is why they are called herbivores. Next is carnivores. Student, a carnivore is an organism that mostly eats meat or the flesh of other animals. Sometimes carnivores are called predators. Organisms that carnivore hunt are called prey. Carnivores are a major part of the food web, a description of which organisms eat which other organisms in the wild. So student, carnivores basically they eat only animals. For an example, shark, lion, owl, alligator, raccoon, etc. They eat other animals as their food. So, omnivores. Student, omnivores are those animals that eat both plants as well as animals. For an example, human being. We human being also eat both plant as well as animals. So we are also omnivores. Next is deer, chimpanzee, etc. Next is scavengers. Student, scavengers are animals that consume dead organisms that have died from cause other than predation. While scavenging generally refer to carnivore feeding on carrion, it is also a herbivore feeding behavior. Scavengers play an important role in the ecosystem by consuming dead animal and plant material. So basically, scavengers obtain their food from dead bodies of animals. For an example is vulture, crow, hyena, etc. Next is decomposers. Student, decomposers are some microbes which obtain their food by decomposing dead bodies of organisms or other materials. For an examples are worms, mushroom, bacteria, etc. Now next topic is ceprophytic nutrition. Student, some insects, unicellular animals, etc. obtain the nutrient by absorbing the liquid organic material from the dead bodies of other animal or from the environment. This is nothing but ceprophytic nutrition. For an example, houseflies, ants, spiders, etc. They absorb the liquid organic material. Understood? Not a solid. They only feed on liquid organic material are called ceprophytic nutrition. So student, the next and the last topic of this chapter is parasitic nutrition. Students, some animals obtain their food only from animals on which they are dependent. This is called as parasitic nutrition. Animal which live on the body surface of other animals, on the body surface of other animal and obtain their food by sucking their blood are called ectoparasites. For an example, bed bugs, louse, tick, etc. Animals which live inside the body of other animals are called endoparasites. For example, tapeworm, roundworm, etc. Student, points to remember: heterotrophic plants do not contain chlorophyll. The plants that grow on the body of other plant to obtain food are called parasitic plant. For example, Loranthus cascata. Insectivorous plants generally grow in soil or water deficient in nitrogen compound. For example, Drosera burmani. Plants which obtain the food from dead and decaying bodies of other organisms are called ceprophytic plants. For an example, mushroom and yeast. Nutrients necessary for various activities of the body are obtained from food. Steps in nutrition are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Holozoic nutrition means the feeding of solid and liquid food by animals. For an example, amoeba, cat, dog, deer, etc. Some insect. Yes, student. Ceprophytic means those animals only if they are feeding liquid food from the animals. Some insect, unicellular animals, etc. obtain nutrient by absorbing the liquid organic material from the dead bodies of other animals or from the environment. This is called, what I told you, ceprophytic nutrients. For an example, houseflies, ants, spiders, etc. Parasitic nutrition is further classified as ectoparasites nutrition and endoparasitic nutrition. Student, based on this video, I want you to do a small assignment. Classify the following according to the food type. Answer in one word the type of heterotrophic plant which grows on the body of other plant to obtain their food. Fungi, which is useful in fermentation process and for making bread. The step of nutrition in which food is converted into simple soluble forms. Animals which depend on other animals and are directly dependent on plants for their food. So student, here we completed with this interesting chapter. So in my next upcoming video, we are going to start with a new interesting chapter. So student, if you like my video and you want me to make such an educational video, please do like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Till then students, take care. Thank you.